birthday, and my friend and I took our moms to see The View!
It's Thursday, November 19th. Coming up live on The View. They're throwing down in Hot Topics. From how Martha Stewart panned Rachel Ray's kitchen skills to why Miley Cyrus called Twilight fans a cult. And the latest on the outrage over the new guidelines about mammograms. Plus, John Stamos is revealing if a Full House movie is on the way, why he hasn't even kissed a girl in months, and how he just got a permanent place alongside Hollywood's biggest legends. Then, Katey Sagal's telling you why female fans are hopping aboard her gritty new show, Sons of Anarchy, and what her kids think of mom playing an outlaw biker. And Joanna, Krupa, and Derek Huff were the latest couple to get the boot off Dancing with the Stars, but they're showing off their moves one last time on our stage. All that, Hot Topics, and more coming up live on The View.
To The View. Now, I normally would try to make some chit-chat, but Joy is really upset and annoyed about some stuff that's been going on with the movies, and I feel we should just go right to that.
Well, I was reading that some movie theaters are thinking of getting rid of the concession stands where the popcorn and all the stuff is. I think that's a good idea. So I'm more annoyed with the ones that don't, because I think that they not only is one of those popcorn things like 1,500 calories or something, and a Coke is 500 calories.
33 grams of sugar.
What are they going to have, apples? I'm just wondering, like, it's the movies, have fun.
Who needs to have food?
No, that's why you go to the theater to do.
Can I just say something? That food attracts, need I say the word?
Yes.
Rodents.
So
okay?
Mice, roaches.
So
they attract, they attract rats.
Rats.
I mean, I have a friend.
Are you whispering because you're scared they're going to hear you?
Yes, I am. I'm afraid of them. And a friend of mine was in the theater last August, I won't say the theater, and she was watching the movie, and a couple of fur pieces ran over her feet. Yeah.
You said you should never wear sandals in the
And
theater.
she said, and I experienced that as a shocking story, and people were like, honey, don't you live in New York City?
Yeah.
You know, don't drop a raisinette in the theater and pick it up when you're wearing sandals.
But I have to say, in all of the years of going to, all the years, Joy, of going to the movie theater, and all of my friends, I've never had the experience of a rat crawling over my foot. I've never seen a roach, because I would think they would be extra clean. But I don't know how New York is.
But people eat their stuff.
Wait until you leave.
People eat and they throw it on the floor.
They come and they clean it.
And then as soon as the lights go on and people are gone, in they come.
They're like this waiting during the movie.
But as soon as the lights go on, they come in and clean it.
Oh, that's a roach. I was thinking, what rat has a thing like that?
That was a roach.
No, that's a roach. I was thinking rat, but you know where I am.
Anyway, we
don't need the food there, and I understand that it's getting worse. That people are bringing more food into the theater.
I've got to have my jujubes. I've got to have my snow caps.
They say there's some movie theaters.
And in the popcorn, yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know how they do it in New York, but in some places in L.A. where I live, in Burbank, and different theaters, you can bring in food from other restaurants, or they give you a lot more healthy alternatives. So maybe they should start doing that in New York. Besides
the food is synonymous with going to the theater. Now, I'll take that I have to see how many calories in the Mickey D's. Okay. I will take that you don't want me to drink that soda, you want to charge me more. But damn it, leave my movie stuff alone. Leave my stuff alone.
But you know, if you look at a person, it's so funny because when I was...
people who are clapping, I hope a rat runs over your legs.
You know what? Rats have been over my legs. They've been up my back. We're from New York.
Are those the men you meant with?
You're aware that our boss is a mouse, right? Is a rodent. So we have to be nice to him.
It's a different thing.
And Mickey is not a rodent.
Yeah, especially when it's handing you a check.
Yeah.
Now, Sherry, you're having a completely different problem at the movies, right?
Yeah, I took Jeffrey wanted to see A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. He kept going, I want to see Jim Carrey. And so we went and saw it in 3D. I bought little headphones for Jeffrey because it was too loud, and I gave him the 3D glasses. He screamed hysterically because it was too dark. I said, you know, mommy's with you. I put him on my lap. And those tickets, it was like almost $15 per ticket that we paid for the, you know, to go see it. And he's sitting there, and like even it was all quiet, and you just heard, ah, I want to go home. But, you know, it was just me and Jeffrey, so I had to pack up all of the stuff, the popcorn, and meanwhile, he's screaming the whole time hysterically, and people are, you know, they're doing that thing when they're at the theater.
So he was scared.
So he was scared, but now he's saying to me, I want to go again. And I said, no, Jeffrey, because you were scared. And no, I want to go again.
He's trying to work out his fears. That's great.
But I feel bad because these people, it's like, so what if he starts screaming again? It's like, that's why I don't take Jeffrey a lot of places, because I'm like, I know how I was when I didn't have kids, and it used to get on my nerves when kids were screaming all the time. So I'm trying to be respectful.
Nah, forget that.
You say to these people, my son is analyzing his fears now. He's dealing with
They don't want to hear that. I'm trying to be respectful to people.
There are those wonderful hours that you should, when you should take kids to the movies.
Right.
You should not take kids to the movies on adult hours, because it's wrong. Afternoon, light. Early afternoon.
What if you're working? When are you going to take your kid to the movies?
On a Sunday? On a weekend? Well, whatever your weekend happens to be with your kid, but
during the day.
During the day. But nighttime it's a little rough. Yeah, it's a little rough.
So we should go back and try this again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
It's such a great thing, I think.
I think they should, for kids screenings like that, where it may be even just not a scary movie, they should also put the lights up a little bit. I think that'd help the kids enjoy the movie a little bit.
Jim Carrey in 3D.
Keeps the rats
Well,
away.
3D.
Jim Carrey coming at you, and I think you sexy, Jim, but damn, it was woo.
I think 3D movies are not for little kids. I'm sorry, because suddenly there's something right there, and they're like, I can't feel it, but it's there. It won't leak.
I remember movies from when I was a kid that scared me. To this day, I remember. There was one that was just horrible, Shadow on the Wall or something, and it was so creepy. Then there was another one where you could see it in a person's forehead if they were going to die. How scary is that? You remember that movie?
Yes, I love that movie.
And one person could see it, and then she knew that person was going to die.
See, things that scared me were things like the crawling eye, which made no sense. It was a giant eyeball. We didn't know whose eyeball it was, but it was just a giant eyeball on the face of the earth that was like messing people up, and it would just kind of ooze towards it. And it was just a big old eyeball.
But at the time, you were how old?
I was probably 20. No, I'm lying. Speaking of scary, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force has people fuming for recommending that women wait until 50 to get mammograms and self-test. Now, I wanted to know, who this task force was, but more importantly, Elizabeth said something really interesting the other day when we were talking about just our anger over this thing that I would love to hear her say again, because I think a lot of people have picked up on what you were saying.
Well, I think that and I think we all agree that women should get loud about this. And I think that this is nothing more than a cost-cutting technique. This is an arm of the U.S. government, this research. And I think that if you are going to, my mother was 43, I believe, when she found her own tumor for breast cancer and was diagnosed. If someone had recommended that she not have a mammogram, that she not do a self-breast exam, she'd be dead, okay? And so this is women across the nation, over 250,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year, over that number. I think it's ridiculous to expect that women would not do self-breast exams. Utah is an example, okay? They're suggesting, what came out was women shouldn't do breast exams under 40, and mammographies were kind of useless before 50, okay? Well, if you take Utah, who sort of follows this example, their private insurers are required by law in every state, except Utah, to pay for mammograms for women in their 40s. So Utah does not pay for it. So I thought last night at 2 a.m., I wonder what happens to women in Utah. Well,
don't Mormons get cancer?
They follow, they're following exactly what this task force model says, okay? They have the lowest breast cancer diagnosis in this country and the highest reported breast cancer death rate. So, to follow the task force recommendation is deadly for women, and I call it now.
I'm this is the question that
gender side.
The question that I have, not disagreeing with you at all. And I would love, and I'm going to do the research on this, but in Great Britain, I know they don't do the testing until they're 50 years old. And so I would love to see the reported numbers of death due to breast cancer over in Great Britain.
They're cost effective. That's because of cost. That's why they do that. It has no other reason. Cost.
And
money.
also, but one of the things that they do is that you can get, and this is why, you know, we go round and round on this argument about should we get, you know, medicine for everybody, because when people are taking care of themselves, when they can go to the doctor, when they are looking out, maybe fewer things are happening with them. But here's what bothered me. I can't say the P word. Ticks me off. The task force, there were no oncologists on the task force. So they had to, what did you call it? They had to outsource it to get oncologists on there. It's been around since '89, this task force. And I resent the fact that you put out something like this, we cannot find out how many women were on this task force.
There's at least 8. There's 16 members, and 8 of the members are women. So that's very surprising. On the group that did the recommendations, because the task force went to other people to get the work done. The task force itself did not do the work. Well, that's what I'm saying. The task force, created in 84. It's comprised of 16 members, this particular task force.
Right, but who was on...
And 8 of them are women.
Who was on... No, I'm not asking it correctly. The
Department of Health and Human Services, you mean?
This group, we know, that outsourced it. How many women were on that panel that it was outsourced to?
I see what you're saying.
Because what they did was they asked this group to do the work and then come to the panel and tell them their findings.
Right.
So who was on this?
But I'm just surprised that the women on this task force. I'm very surprised that when you're saying speak up loud, speak up, make your opinion known, that the women on this task force didn't say, wait a minute, whoa.
Well, not all women are going to agree with each other. But you know what you said about Utah, I think is very interesting. That's interesting. And that should be part of the research.
It should be.
And I don't think it was in that. I think that was overlooked, except by you, baby.
It was overlooked.
You know.
At 2 in the morning. When you should have been snuggling up to your man.
I use my night feed with Isaiah. I'm feeding him a bottle and researching online, so that's how it works.
Multitasking, feeding and researching. Well, I'm not feeding, so I'll move my hand. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics.
Great being here. The ladies are always so welcoming and warm, and it was fun and like old home week, so couldn't have been nicer.
Say there, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Aren't you on Sean Hannity tonight?
I am tonight, right up against Joy's show.
She's up against me tonight.
I'll be on Hannity, Fox News tonight at 9 o'clock.
Will you say hey to Sean for me?
I will. Say hi. He loves you guys.
Now, Elizabeth, you gave Grace a doll from the upcoming Disney movie, The Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. I better say it like they say it. The Princess and the Frog.
Who says that?
You'll see. You've been surprised at the reaction you've been getting.
Yeah, so this is Grace's favorite doll right now.
so beautiful.
And
She's gorgeous.
she is in love with Tiana. And I usually don't let her sleep with any dolls that aren't mushy, but she's insisting on spending good quality time with Tiana. So she's walking around. We ran errands yesterday, so we're, we went all around New York City. And I'm next to her, and she's holding, Tiana, playing with her hair, bending her little arms. She's like, look, they bend, And I saw a bunch of different reactions. I talked to someone, we went in, I got some highlights, and the woman next to me was like, my daughter is so excited about Tiana. And then we walked outside, we went into a couple stores, came out of a drugstore, and I saw a couple of looks that made me uncomfortable because I felt that the looks were more like, I'm trying to think how they were, looking at Grace with the doll, and essentially the looks were, that's different. Why does that white girl have a black doll? That's...
Was it from
Was it
from
you? Maybe they're looking at you.
No, they were... I had like a hat on. No, this was like...
You were on television.
No, it wasn't about that.
And you didn't have your highlights
Let me tell you, it wasn't me they were looking at. I felt felt as though, and look, it's hard, it makes me sad to even say this, but I felt as though the looks were, that's strange, a white girl with a black doll.
Now,
and
can I ask you, the people that you got the looks from, were they
white?
Were they white and black, or were they white people who were giving you that look?
They were white. They were white.
They were giving.
They were white, and I thought, because here's my daughter, like, she and Jeffrey like kiss, like she loves this doll. And at what point, I kept thinking, at what point do people start putting these rules? No, she doesn't notice. She's playing with Tiana's hair.
But it's funny because your first thought was, well, what are they looking? They couldn't possibly be looking at me like that. And it's a little bit of being black. Right. Sometimes you're not sure what you're seeing. You don't want to just off the bat say, are you looking at me because you think I shouldn't be here? But then you feel some weirdness and you think, well, what? Yes. So
I totally relate. Like, as much as I possibly could relate. My name's Hasselbeck, not Hasselblack, but I totally felt in that moment.
You understood something.
Yeah, I did. And I came to you the other day and I told you this. And it bothered me. And I think there's work to be done. Maybe Tiana can get it done.
It's interesting that you say that. I think because some people, when we do have that reaction of why are they looking at us like that, you hear so many people that go, you always feel like you always feel like people are looking at you funny, and you go, it's hard to explain the look.
There's a weirdness that follows the look.
Yeah. Well, how do you know if it's right or it's just paranoia?
You don't ever know. Sometimes
it made her distinctly uncomfortable.
Yeah, I had no reason to be paranoid. I was just walking. She was playing with the doll, but I have to say it's that weird factor.
Yeah, you know it when you feel it.
Curiosity. It was something else.
No, there was something. There was something else.
Judgmental.
Like
why does your daughter have a black doll? Yeah, that's going to happen a lot now. But I love the fact that it was a discussion for us. But here's something very peculiar. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Okay, I'm on for this one. Ladies! Okay, ladies, let me ask you something. Have you ever been caught in a moment where you wish you were looking a little more radiant, shall we say? Those moments when time and your face stood still? I can tell just by looking at some of the women in our audience what they're thinking.
There was that moment at my high school reunion when I wanted to dunk my head in the punch bowl.
When I ran into my nosy neighbor the other day, she actually told me my laugh lines were nothing to laugh about.
I remember my daughter's wedding vividly. I looked more like the father of the bride.
Well, don't worry, ladies, because Olay Definity Color Recapture is 3 products in 1. Foundation, SPF, and an anti-aging moisturizer. And it's available in 3 complementary shades. Count them. 1, 2, 3.
Olay Definity Color Recapture was voted 2009's Best New Product Award winner for Best Anti-Aging Product and Best Product Overall in a study of over 50,000 consumers presented by Better Homes and Gardens magazine.
And everyone in our studio audience is going home with Olay Definity Color Recapture.
And I don't even know what we're doing now, but we're going to go and come back, and we're going to be bringing back somebody we'd all like to capture, John Stamos.
My mom confessional when Manolo was a young kid. He's always been very responsible. When I was, out of work, I always tried to convince him to stay home with me. I'm like, Manolo, stay today, don't go to school, and he would never let me do it.
Full House, and now he's bringing down the house on the Broadway classic musical Bye Bye Birdie. Please welcome John Stamos.
You're exhausted. You're standing here, right, bro?
Basking in the glow.
Why not? Well, how are you?
I'm good. What were you thinking?
Is that a hospital gown? What do you wear? I mean, I'm not making fun of you. I love you, but you can usually see the butt from the back on the hospital gown, right?
Yes.
I used to play a doctor on TV. You know?
I remember that.
Sit down.
Okay.
John, we know that you have had a crazy long week. This is you obviously are putting a lot of hours in. And Monday, you received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So this is sort of...
Who are you next to?
Who's this
Well,
right
everybody
here?
came. It was so beautiful. Tony Geary, who was on General Hospital with me in the beginning.
Yeah.
The Full House gang was there. ER gang was there. Jack Klugman, who I love so very much. Gary Marshall spoke.
It's like a This Is Your Life moment?
That or my funeral. One or the other. But yeah, no, it was. It was beautiful.
Who's next to you on the floor there?
Oh, I got Dick Van Dyke is right next to me and Stan Laurel. So it was
Nice.
And you know, Dick Van Dyke originated the role in Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah.
And so
That's right.
I think it was a coincidence. I don't know how I ended up.
Well, we have to say, John, I mean, you were gorgeous on
Sherry.
General Hospital. You were gorgeous on Full House.
I love Full House.
You were ER, and I gotta say, I mean, I'm looking at you. You are still gorgeous. Huh? No, but this is what I want to
How do I
ask
answer that question? I don't even know.
just say
You know,
thank
some
you.
lady recently said thank you.
Yeah.
Some lady recently said, now on Broadway you have Hugh Jackman and the Bond, what's his name? Daniel Craig. And you guys all hang out together at some place.
What, because you're all cute?
Yeah, I said, we hang out at the Bitchin' Guy Club down on 54th. And she said, what do you talk about? I said, we talk about how great looking we are, and then we go home.
Well, you know, I don't want, but no, let me finish. I just want to answer this question. This is really, really important.
Sorry.
You have not kissed anybody in 2 months.
I just
John.
kissed you.
You did not kiss me. No, you didn't. You came and shook hands, but you haven't kissed anybody in 2 months. You know, I don't want. I'm just asking because I think the ladies want to know why haven't you kissed anybody in 2 months?
We're reel in that hook
Maybe
just a little bit.
Maybe he was afraid of swine flu?
Is it swine flu?
Where did you get that information from?
That's what People magazine said you had not kissed anybody.
Yeah, but I did that interview about 6 months ago.
Oh, so you have kissed somebody?
I've kissed, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask?
You want to tell her?
What?
No, it's not
No, you have to tell me.
Here's the thing. You were on the cover of he's on the cover of The Advocate magazine, which is a gay magazine.
Yeah.
So, you know, they like you too, apparently.
I did a movie about...
The gay boys find you very attractive.
I did a movie I was very proud of called Wedding Wars about gay marriage. And stuff. Yeah, that was fun.
I gotta ask you, how are you now? You are just 8 a week. What were you thinking, man?
She means 8 shows.
8 shows
yeah,
a
I
week,
know. It is-
singing, dancing,
you've done
and
it.
you doing other stuff too. On top of that,
What else are you...
he's dragging a little bit.
A
You're
little
tired.
bit. Yeah. But this has been the most thrilling show I've ever done. I absolutely love it. It's the happiest show. It's optimistic. You should bring your kids. It's such a great show. It's a great first show for kids to see.
Yeah.
I stand in the wings when I'm not on, and I just look at the people's faces, and they're so happy. The place is
Great
packed.
music in Bye
The
Bye Birdie.
music is great. The score. I know I sound like a... You know, but it's what we need right now in the country. I mean, people go in and they walk out so happy. And
Gina Gershon is your co-star,
Gina's
right?
in it, and she's fantastic. I was obsessed with Showgirls, so when she got when I found out, right? But she's beautiful at it, and she's great.
Well, you have been, congratulations to you, because you have been getting rave reviews in Bye Bye Birdie. Yeah. But I also heard that there was a night during the previews that went a little bit awry.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Well, it was the night before we opened, and the whole set, what's that?
Wasn't Rickles there?
Rickles was there. The whole set broke behind us. And they said, and then the curtain came down and said, Stamos, get out there and entertain him. And I was good for about 5 minutes, and then they said, keep going, keep going. And you know how long that is. Yeah. So luckily Rickles was there, and he started yelling at me to get a haircut and, you know, whatever. And then, thank God, Saget was there. Right. So I brought Bob up. He bashed his knee on the stage coming up. And I had a head mic, so I had to talk into my forehead the whole time. And he said, it's a good thing you weren't wearing a crotch mic. And I said, Bob. It's Saget. But we had to fill about 30 minutes.
It's great to have 2 stand-up comedians there with an act.
I wish you would have been there. You would have been great, too.
That's enough. They have enough.
What do you do? Thanksgiving's around the corner. Do you have special plans at all?
I'm in the parade. I'm doing the Thanksgiving Day parade.
I didn't know that.
I'm doing Put on a Happy Face.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
And, you know, it's so funny. You come from a big family, a lot of kids, and having children is very important.
Kids?
I you have a lot of kids.
Well, no, I have just 2 sisters, but a very close family.
And you guys, because I know you talk about your family.
Yeah.
I've read in interviews, but having a family is very important to you.
I
So
think that's
do you
the
have any
one thing that I've
plans,
really missed in my life, and I won't be complete until I have kids. I was meant to be a father, and as I look at you closer, Sherry, what do you say, baby?
I would have your baby right now. What? Let's go. Get up. Bye.
That celibacy lasted how long?
Are you celibate?
I want a man who wants me. I will have your baby in a minute, she said.
She said that for a while. Women could forgive me this one indiscretion. I think so.
You encourage regime.
Celibacy breaker.
But it is important to you to have a family.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I'm really looking forward to have
So
children.
do you mean that? Are you talking about the old-fashioned way, or would you? I'm asking because you know, if you met a great woman that you liked who wasn't able to, but you're not close to adopting.
No, not at all. I don't want this to be the headline, because every time I say this, I work for the organization called Project Cuddle, which is about adopting abandoned babies, and so I for sure would adopt a baby if that came up. You know, if that was.
I sort of thought so. So I wanted to
No, I'm
use.
glad. But ultimately, fatherhood.
Cuddle, huh?
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. I hadn't heard of that.
ProjectCuddle.org. Yeah,
Check that out.
it's for abandonment of babies.
Good work, John. We're
Thank
glad
you.
you're here today.
I like your shoes.
Oh, thank you. You like my sparkly
sparkly,
shoes.
yeah.
We like your show. You guys can go see
Elizabeth just had a baby. She can't have any more.
No. I don't blush.
Yeah. Are you pregnant, Elizabeth? Lon's got this thing.
If you click those 3 times, we can get out of this interview.
You guys can go see Roundabout Theater Company's Bye Bye Birdie at Henry Miller's Theater right here in New York. Our thanks to John Stamos. We'll be right back with Katey Sagal. Thanks, John.
The woman who made Peg Bundy a sitcom legend on Married with Children is teaching more family values in the gritty new biker gang series Sons of Anarchy. Take a look.
You need to do that. Show respect.
Oh, please.
Don't just toss that off. You've earned that, sweetheart. You're not just some crow eater. You're Jax Teller's old lady. And that means something. In this clubhouse. And in this town. People need to show you respect. And you don't take from anyone.
Gotta show your respect.
What did she just say?
Please welcome back Katey Sagal.
Hello.
I'm good. You know, in this show, you played Gemma.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
She's the matriarch of this biker gang, and her character is rather vicious and kind of evil in a certain way.
Well, she doesn't think she is. She has a method to her madness.
But you know, actors always say that because they have to find the thing that they love about her, right?
I really do, but I really do love her. I mean, she's a mother, a very protective mother of this
that's
club.
your family.
Yeah.
You're
That's my
protective.
family.
Right?
So
And it's anything that goes against or will bring it down.
Yeah, which you're a mom. I mean, don't cross a mom. So she's just a mother that will go to any lengths.
But you enjoy playing a flawed woman, I think, right? Because
absolutely.
Peg Bundy was another one, but in a different way.
Well, I like playing women that, she lives in a lot of denial. You know, it's about a subculture that we haven't really seen a lot. And so she has a lot of secrets. She lives in a lot of denial. It's interesting to play people like that.
Sons of Anarchy, it's pretty gritty. You know, there's everything from like rape to castration to murder. But women love it.
Yes.
And that's interesting because in some shows that involve that turn women off. There's something special here, though. Is it that mom factor?
Well,
the castration
behind it all, maybe in some cases. Behind it all, it's a family drama. You know, it's about the family lives of these people that we've never really seen. Plus, you know, so it has that going. It has very strong women on it. I'm on it. Maggie Siff is on it. Drea De Matteo was on it last season. And, you know, it's hot guys on bikes. So I don't know many of my friends that don't like that.
And you're so good playing Gemma. But let me see. The show was created by your husband, Kurt Sutter.
Yeah.
Did you sleep with the boss to get this role, girl?
Well, you know, I did. Yeah. Proudly.
But you're qualified. That's the thing.
I am qualified. It came about after the fact, so I must have done a good job.
There you go.
I want to ask you about.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, as an actor, how hard was it for you to get people to break the Peg Bundy grip? Because she had you,
Yes. Well, I've continued to work all this time, but I'd have to go in and tap dance and turn upside down and do all kind of things to sort of change perception. And it took the job that long and to be on television in people's living rooms, but it's also a double-edged sword, so it was hard. It was hard, and I really had wanted to, you know, you want to do something different. And this was something different.
Is it hard with your husband, you know, being the creator of the show and being there? Does he direct any of the...
He does.
So how is that mixing the family life and the business life?
Actually, we're good. You know, at home we have 3 kids, so that takes precedence.
2 teenagers and a 2.5-year-old, right?
Yes.
Which is that's a good built-in babysitter.
It really, well, you'd think.
No.
They got their own life now.
No, you know, teenagers are, you know, God love my teenagers, but they're a little about themselves. So, no, Esme's with us, and but at home it's about the family. Her name is Esme.
Yeah. Salinger.
That's right. That's where it's from. My husband calls it a pretentious literary name.
Yeah. No, it's pretty.
It's a beautiful name.
Esme with Love and Squalor is the name of the story by Salinger.
I don't know if most people realize this. I didn't. You're a singer.
Yes.
You did backup for Bette Midler, Gene Simmons, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know why. I
have lived a long time.
Well,
when they pull that stuff out from the back, you know, you just realize how long you've been around.
Are we going to hear your pipes on the show? Have you taped any?
Well, I do sing in the soundtrack of the show. I sing one song. I did a cover of Son of a Preacher Man in the first season.
Love
and
that song.
I did Ruby Tuesday for the second season.
Okay, that's
so
you.
I get to, you know, I sing. I don't sing. Gemma doesn't sing to sing in the
Gemma
soundtrack.
in one episode has hot flashes. Is she going through menopause?
Absolutely, she is. Well, she's in denial about it. She really doesn't want to believe that at all.
She thinks it's too much leather.
Something. She might. That's right. It could be. But she's in complete denial that she's in menopause.
Thank you so much for coming by. This is something that women are really taking to, Sons of Anarchy. And you can catch Sons of Anarchy Tuesday nights on FX. Check your local listings. And when we come back, Dancing with the Stars, Joanna Krupa and Derek Huff are showing us their moves right here. They were in the final 4, but this week, Joanna Krupa and Derek Huff took their final bow on Dancing with the Stars. But they're here hitting the floor for us right now, performing the salsa. Please welcome Joanna Krupa and Derek Huff.
She's a
You two look so beautiful up there dancing together. But Joanna, you have a really great story. I did not know, you told it to the Dancing with the Stars fans, but your mom brought you guys out from Poland to Chicago. When you were 5 years old, your mom had $200 in her pocket. How did you get from there to Dancing with the Stars?
Oh my gosh, a lot of hard work, lots of dreams, and probably 8 years in LA, just working really hard, finding an amazing manager, and building my name slowly until...
You put the work into it. Now, I have to say, watching it, we talked about this for our Hot Topics. You guys did a mambo. And, Derek, you had Joanna's head in this piston action thing. Right there. You did it for us right now.
She's trying to come up, and I'm like, no, keep going.
That's called the thigh killer,
That's called the thigh killer. No,
thigh killer. I'm like,
well, you know...
Did you put that in your choreography?
Everything, it was totally improvised, actually, believe it or not. We had, like, little moments, but I was just screaming to her on the floor. I was like, all right, here it comes, the pretzel. Here comes this. Here comes that. So she followed great, and then that was just kind of a spur of the moment thing.
You know what I think it was? I think I did something, bad earlier, and it was like,
now, your fiance was in the audience at the time. You weren't mad that her fiance was going to kick your behind?
No. No, he's a good guy.
Okay. Cool. And now you have a band with your fellow Dancing with the Stars teammate, Mark Ballas.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys performed on the show. Are you going to be like your sister, Miss Julianne, and you're going to leave? You're not going to you and Mark?
You know, I'll always be a part of the show one way or the other, choreographing and, doing things for it, because the show's such a great thing to be a part of, so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll always be a part of it.
Congratulations, you guys are really good.
Thank you.
And they are. You got to go see them when they're in your town. Now, congratulations to you, because you are on the cover of Playboy magazine, girl. Now, oh, look at that. Ooh, you look hot. I have to ask you, being on the cover, which is harder, taking your clothes off for Playboy or doing Dancing with the Stars?
Definitely Dancing with the Stars. It really is, because it's totally out of my element. The dancing every week, you got to learn a new dance, and in front of a live audience, anything can happen. So that's the scary part, that anything can happen.
Do you ever blank out when you're on that dance floor? Really?
Oh, yeah. And for some reason, I look at him, and it just snaps back, thank goodness.
Now, you went very far, Joanna, and a lot of people, it's really important to have a fan base on the show. And Donny Osmond started out, he had a huge fan base. You developed a fan base. What do you think happened? When did you start getting that big fan base?
I think it started when we did our lambada. I think finally people, were like, wow, well, she actually can dance, and, maybe she's likable. So I think it took me a little bit to prove myself.
That's what was great about it, actually, because it was like she had to earn her way every single week.
Yeah.
And it was really about the dancing, and I think that was, that's what the show is all about, kind of starting from scratch and growing. So.
And how do you feel working with Joanna? You've had a lot of really great partners there.
I've had a lot of great partners, but I've really, really enjoyed this season. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of memorable moments, with like the futuristic Paso Doble and the Mambo moment. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it was a joy watching you. I'm so sorry you got voted off. Thank you for coming
so
here.
Much.
And you know what? You guys can catch the season finale of Dancing with the Stars next Monday and Tuesday, right here on ABC. We're going to be right back.
Hey, we've got so into this discussion about this fabulous doll that we forgot to show you what she looks like.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. She's just
beautiful.
a beautiful doll. And she is available, yes?
Yes,
Is that what we heard?
she's available in
stores now.
Your kids will love her.
Yeah, and she's The Princess and the Frog, which isn't open yet, but that's by our parent company, Disney. And we want you to have a great day, take a little time to enjoy the view.